right?
Yeah, I left off at Peggy.
Okay.
And the next one is Rose. Her name is Rosa. She was named after my grandfather's wife. That's how she got her name.
Okay. So your grandmother's name, she took on your grandmother's name.
Wait a minute, I got that wrong. Rose was my daddy's sister. So she was named after her aunt.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was named after her aunt, Rose. I remember when Aunt Rosa passed away in 1936. When we found out about it, she was living in South Carolina.
Okay.
But anyway, Rose was named after her. And she left North Carolina and went to Washington, D.C. Been living there ever since. Married a young man named Joseph Smith. They wasn't blessed with any children, except they raised a daughter named Tony. Tony has 2 children. And so they are Rose's grandchildren. That's the way she feel about them, even though they are not biological.
But she
raised them, and they love her, and she loved them. She's our grandmother, no doubt about that. Rose is very special. She was here to see me, spent a whole week with me, about 2 weeks ago now. I enjoyed every moment of it that she was here. She's the only one that I have left now. Out of 10, there's only 2 of us left living. But Rose, she was very kind, considerate, and she loved people. Very Christian-like lady. She took a lot after my mom in that area. And I just thank God that I still have a sister left. You know, out of 4 girls, she's the only one alive. And then the next one is Vernita, my baby sister. Vernita was very special to me. When I left to go into the military, Vernita was just a small little girl, not even 10 years old. But I remember when I was in Vietnam, I was hungry. We weren't getting the proper amount of food to eat. And I said, well, I'm gonna write my sister in New York. Vernita had moved to New York. And I'm gonna tell her that I'm hungry and come back. I didn't want to tell my wife because that would only worry her. She was already had enough on her with my children. I didn't want to hurt her anymore than she was already hurt. So I never mentioned to her about her husband being in combat and being hungry. So I wrote for Nita. I said, honey, if there's any way possible, could you please send me some food to eat? And you gotta be careful, you can't send perishable food, but you can send some beans and some peas.
Things that won't spoil.
Something that won't spoil, because it's gonna be a number of weeks before I get it. So guess what happened? I got a great big box from New York.
She been her big brother some food.
Sending her big brother some food.
Yeah.
Dang, that's clutch.
I was so hungry. But I shared that food with my fellow soldiers because they were hungry too.
That was your family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my family. And every 2 to 3 weeks, I would get a new box from
She made sure her big brother was gonna get hungry.
Man.
New York. She didn't want her brother over there and come back hungry.
Right.
So where
So
would
I
she
could
send
get-
it again?
Hmm?
Where would she send the food over?
Yeah, she would send it to Vietnam. Box it up and send it. It would take a while to get it. It might be a week, 2 weeks.
Right.
But eventually it would get there, you know. And man, we'd have a party when that box
Right,
come in.
right.
Yeah.
So, Daddy, you mentioned you didn't want to worry your wife because she had enough
Yeah.
dealing
she
with the
did.
kids and everything else. Now, which wife was this? Was this
That,
Jean?
that was your mother.
Oh, that was my mother.
That was your mother.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell her. And
Okay.
I didn't tell her.
Okay.
She didn't find out about that until I got back home.
Okay.
Because I told Renita not to tell her. I did, because she
You didn't want to worry her.
I didn't want, no, she had enough on her mind, you know.
Yeah.
In those days, son, any day, you could expect a military officer to knock on your door
Especially during
with the
Vietnam.
bad news. Yeah.
Right.
So I didn't want to burden her down anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So that was the main thing about Renita. She was just a darling person. She really was. It hurt me so bad when I lost her. She passed away at 69. She's out buried out there at First Baptist. But I'll never forget my baby sister. And then the next one was my youngest brother, the baby of the family, Dave. That's his picture right there. Dave was special too. He was very quiet. You know, didn't have a whole lot to say.
Right.
And sometimes it puzzled me about Dave. I would come home on military leave, and I'd see Dave getting ready for a baseball game. And I was wondering, I said, well, now, why would he go play baseball and his brother here on leave to be with him? But he would just take off, just like I wasn't there. And go play baseball. So I said, well, that's what he want to do. Let him go ahead and do it.
Right.
You know. But then I found out later, after he got in the Marine Corps, and Dave volunteered. They didn't draft Dave. Dave volunteered.
Volunteer for the Corps.
He did. He volunteered for the Corps.
And this was during Vietnam, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. This was during Vietnam crisis. But he did well in the Marines. He went all the way from buck private to master sergeant, as you see his picture right there.
Yep.
Went right on up to master. He did very well.
Is that gunnery on his stripes right there?
That's gunnery, yeah. He
that's
was a
what we're-
gunnery, but he's one stripe ahead of a gunnery.
Okay.
A gunnery's got one stripe less than what he had.
Got you. Okay. Okay.
But Dave was closer to me than I thought he was when he was a civilian. After he got in the military, he seemed to draw nigh to me.
Okay.
You know. I used to visit him in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Me and your mother, and him and his wife, we would get together down there.
Okay.
But the thing that I remember mostly about Dave in his military career, after I went to Vietnam in 1967, Dave was here. He was in the United States, stationed in California. Excuse me. I went to Vietnam, spent a year, and came back. But after 8 months, I was stationed here at Fort Eustis, Virginia. I came up on orders again for Vietnam. I said, well, how can this be? I've only been in the States for 8 months, and here I am on orders again for Vietnam. So I complained about it. I went to personnel and said, listen, something ain't right. Something ain't right here now. I just got back. Here I am on orders again for Vietnam. They said, yeah, well, we need first sergeants in Vietnam. That's why you don't know. I said, but I know there's first sergeants that ain't been to Vietnam yet.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't send them over there?
Right.
Well, Sergeant, you going. That's what I was told, flat out to my face. You're going to Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, no problem. Came home, got my stationery together, and I wrote my congressman.
Mm.
I said, sir, I explained to him exactly what had happened. I've been home 8 months. I'm on orders again.
Mm-hmm.
Please help me out.
So, Daddy, you only been home for 8 months.
Yeah.
How old were your children then?
Oh, Lisa was young. She was, I guess she must have been 8,
Okay.
something like that.
So Angie was
And then
around.
Angie was even younger.
About 4 or
You
5.
had got here.
Right, right. So they just now seeing their daddy.
Just seeing that daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa told me one day, she said, Daddy, why you got to go back? And she was crying. I said, well, baby, Uncle Sam is sending me back. But you just got home, Daddy. And that tore me up.
Mm.
That really tore me up. And you can't explain that to a kid that young.
Right. They will
Ain't no
never
way.
understand.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
You know. So I said, okay, I'm gonna write. I told personnel. I said, well, I've got a brother over there, and the regulation states that no 2 brothers are gonna be in combat at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm gonna write my brother, and if he wants to come home, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to finish his tour, I ain't going. All right, that's the regulation. You go ahead and do it. They were mad at me. So I did write Dave. And Dave told me, said, well, I've already started my tour. If I leave now, as soon as you come back, they're going to send me back over here. So I'd rather, if you don't mind, I'd rather stay over here and finish my tour. I said, well, fine, that's good. That means I won't have to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the letter that I got from him to personnel, and they hit the ceiling. Oh, they hit the ceiling.
Man.
Mad at me. You know, I said, well, you can get mad all you want to. I'm trying to stay out of combat. I just
Right.
just got home.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And so they said, okay, we'll pull you off orders. Do you have a brother in Korea? I said, no, I ain't got no brother in Korea. Well, we sending you to Korea.
Oh my
That's
God.
what they did.
They're wildin'.
That's exactly what they did. They put my behind on orders that day.
To go to Korea.
Go to Korea.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, they sure did me. They did
So
that.
you went to Korea while Uncle Dave was in
Yeah,
Vietnam.
right. And then when he came back, they sent me right back to Vietnam.
So you ended up going to Vietnam.
I
anyway once you
would
came
wind
back.
up going back to Vietnam for the second tour.
So you ended up having to do 2 combat tours.
2 combat tours. Actually, well, it wasn't a combat in Korea,
Mhm.
but I had 2 overseas duties.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. And the whole
and
while,
it was a spike thing.
Uncle Dave was basically saying, "I'll go ahead and do this combat tour and let my brother stay home."
That's what he did. That's what Dave did. Dave could have come home.
He could have came home.
Yeah. But he did. He said, no, I'm going to go ahead and finish my tour. But it was going to help him too, because if he had come home, as soon as I got back, they'd have sent him back over
Send
there.
him back over there.
Mhm. Yep.
So either way, it just seemed like a systematic thing.
It was, son.
They're trying
It
to make it
was.
our system.
And they held that against me too. I'll tell you about that.
You talking about in promotion or?
Well, no. You see, the regulation reads, if you're in combat zone like I was, and I had enough time to retire. I had over 20 years then.
By then, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I put in for retirement while I was still in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And the regulation read you can pick your last duty station. Well, my family was here in Newport News.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to retire at Fort Eustis.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we got him now.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't gonna let him go to Fort Eustis. And they didn't.
Knowing that your family was in Virginia.
Knowing my family was here in Virginia, that's how they can do you, son. Look, there's some mean folks out there.
Know your wife and children in Virginia. They gonna make you retire in the
And
state.
the thing about it, it wasn't the military. Well, it was military too, but it was civilian. There was a civilian woman in the Pentagon
Mm-hmm.
that was doing this to me.
Okay.
She was GS-15 or whatever she was. She had power.
Right.
Because my congressman contacted her, and she said, that first sergeant is going to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. He ain't going to Fort Eustis, Virginia. For spite.
Mm.
I wound up in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Wow.
Got out there, reported in, and they said, well, you got to go see the commanding general. I said, what? You got to go see the commanding general. So I reported to the commanding general, and he gave me this spiel about this unit. He wanted me to go down there and to be the first sergeant and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there listening to him. So when he finished, he said, First Sergeant, you have anything to say? I said, yes, sir. He said, what? I said, sir, I'm retiring. You what?
He didn't even know you was
He
retired.
didn't know I was retiring. That's the mess they had messed up, see. I said, yes, sir, I'm retiring. I put in for retirement in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in Fort Eustis, Virginia. He said, well, let me tell you something, First Sergeant. And he got mad then, the Army. He said, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you to this place. I want you to get a desk and a telephone. And I want you to sit there until the day you retire. You don't answer to nobody, and nobody answered to you. I said, what? He said, that's what I want you to do. Because he was mad. He was looking for a first sergeant for his company, and he didn't get it. So I did. I set me up a desk, had me a chair there and a telephone.
On telephone.
And I reported to that desk every day.
I think we have that picture,
That
don't we,
picture.
Janet? Yeah.
That picture right with the phone right there.
You do.
I know. I
That's the
remember
one
that
I
picture.
love.
Mhm.
Yeah, myself.
So, Daddy, he could not have gone to his commander and explained the situation and have you moved out to Fort Eustis.
Could have switched.
They couldn't have made
right?
that move at that point, even though it came down from Army that you were supposed
Well,
to be.
that civilian woman I'm telling you
Yeah,
about
Pentagon.
was powerful.
Right,
What she said goes.
So,
right. So there was no change in that.
No
You gotta
change
stay
in
there.
When she said it, it was a wrap.
My representative, he tried.
Mhm.
He did try.
Okay.
But she just, he's going to Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
So how long was that from the time that you reported there to the time that you had to retire? How long did you have
About
to sit?
3 months.
So you sat at that desk with a phone for 3 months while your family was waiting on you to come
Yeah.
home.
Now I did come home and get my family,
Mhm.
your mother and my two sisters, and your two sisters. And I took them out there. We lived on a trailer
Okay.
out there. I got away from the desk then
Mhm.
and moved into the trailer. But I would report every day back to the desk.
Okay.
And that went on till I retired.
And they had your retirement ceremony and everything at Fort Campbell?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my parade, because I got the Bronze Star Medal from Vietnam.
Well, that was my next question. I wanted to talk to you about your decoration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I stayed right there in that trailer,
Mhm.
Lisa and Angie and your mother and me.
Your wife and 2 girls.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit about your decoration, Daddy.
Well, I got to earn the Bronze Star Medal from action in Vietnam. The citations downstairs there in the family room
No, that was different.
against a hostile force
Mhm.
in Vietnam. And They had a big parade for me out there, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, when I got back. I got a picture of your mother pinning the decoration on my uniform.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the commanding general, he said, he asked me, would it be okay if she did it? I said, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he was going to do it.
Right.
But he handed it to Don, and she did it. She pinned my decoration on.
Wow.
I thought that was very nice of him to do
Of
that.
course, yeah. She was the one at home.
She
you
was the
know,
one at home.
waiting for her husband to come back. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, she pinned the decoration on. I got pictures of her. She putting it on me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But that was the highest. Now I had several other awards
Mm-hmm.
and commendations, but the Bronze Star was my highest medal.
Okay.
I was decorated with that.
Now you took injury in the battlefield too.
I
didn't
did,
you?
but that happened in Korea.
Okay.
Yeah, during the war in Korea, 1952, I got hit a shrapnel, a shell fragment. I stayed in the hospital for 62 days.
Wow.
Down in Yangdong-po. I'll never forget it.
Now did they give you a Purple Heart for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
For Korea. Okay.
What was that award down in the family room that was up top?
So you have the looks like a helicopter on it was an aviation company that I guess they presented you an award for your service for them.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was called. Something else.
Yeah, I don't quite remember what it was for, but I guess maybe your service as a maintenance officer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Now that I got a lot of that from civil service.
Okay, that was your civil service.
After I
work.
retired.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I got several awards from them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got several awards from them.
So when you retired and you retired from Fort Campbell and you finally was able to come back to Virginia
Finally was able to come back to Virginia as a civilian.
as a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
So how was civilian life for you, Daddy? That's a tough integration right there.
That was
to go from military to civilian.
It was tough to adjust from military to civilian life, but I wanted to pursue a business adventure. So what I did, I hooked up with Basic Construction Company here in Newport News, and I purchased 2 dump trucks,
Mm-hmm.
brand new Fords. And I got a contract to work with Basic. We built I-64, the Warwick Boulevard. We worked a lot out there. Busch Gardens, I worked there for years.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
About Williamsburg.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Doing on pavement. I was in asphalt,
Okay.
hauling asphalt from Newport News to Williamsburg. I did that for years. Mhm. It was good. It was a good work.
Mm-hmm.
I hired a driver. I drove one truck and a driver drove the other truck. That worked out pretty good. But then I started having trouble with the drivers being disqualified for some ticket he got
Okay.
some time ago. And they didn't want to approve him driving a commercial truck. So I had to change drivers. And that got to be kind of messy. And then I had one driver. We was hauling dirt. And we get down to loading the dirt, and that's hard on a truck
Mm-hmm.
when you're pulling out of pits and stuff like that.
Right. All that weight.
All that weight. And he broke an axle. So that was a big setback, you know. I had to unload the truck and get it out of that pit,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Eventually I said, well, gas prices went sky high, kind of like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
At first, when I bought the trucks, I was buying gasoline for 25 cents a gallon.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I was making good money.
Mhm. So these were gas vehicles, they weren't diesel.
They were gas.
Okay.
Yeah, they were both gas.
Mhm.
So I was doing well there for a while, and all of a sudden, the gas prices shot up. And I went to the contractor and said, look, man, I'm going in the hole here now. Gas
Right.
price. I'd pull up to the tank and put on $100 worth of gasoline every day.
Right.
You know, so I can't take this. Can you kind of share in my expense? He said, no, I'm under contract.
Wow.
I contracted last year for this job.
Right. Right.
You know, so I can't afford that.
So it wasn't their fault that the gas prices went up
Right.
and all that.
That's what
So
he
this was
saying.
during the gas crisis then, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
it was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gas crisis.
Long lines,
Mhm.
and you could only gas up on certain days.
Right. Right.
You know, depending on what your license number was.
Mm.
So that created a problem for me. So I said, I got enough of this. So I sold both trucks.
Okay.
And that's when I went for Grumman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went back into civil service.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And from there to civil service.
Mhm.
And I spent 17 years in civil service. I retired. I retired exactly 20 years after I retired from the Army.
Almost
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
day, huh?
Yeah, 20 years. I retired from the Army in 1972, and I retired from the civil service in 1992.
Mhm.
I haven't worked since. Yeah.
That's some career there.
That was a career. It was a rewarding career, too. Some ups and downs.
Right.
Some things I haven't been able to tell you because of the time frame.
Mhm.
But I ran into a whole lot of stuff that I hate to even remember,
Yeah.
especially in Vietnam.
Yeah. So I know that's a tough time for you, especially coming around Veterans Day, and you start remembering your
Oh,
families that
yeah.
you lost and
Mhm.
things of that nature.
I had some experiences over there. So.
Mhm.
I had one young soldier, a white boy. We was supporting missions in not only Vietnam, but what was the name of that country? Anyway, it was another foreign country, Cambodia. We was flying missions in Cambodia too. I had a H-37 company flying cranes,
Mhm.
and there was demand for them in Cambodia. Well, I had to send a ship over there. But every month, I'd send a new crew,
Okay.
two new pilots, and two new crew chiefs. So this white boy, you know, he'd been over there and he did his thing, came back, time for him to be replaced. And I told him I was replacing him. He said, no, First Sergeant, if you don't mind, I'd like to go back. I said, oh, wait a minute, now you just completed a tour. He said, I know, but I like it over there.
Mhm.
I'd like to go back if you don't mind. I said, well, let me talk to the CO. So I went and talked to Commandant Austin. He said, well, if he wants to volunteer to go back, let him go.
Mhm.
First Sergeant, I said, okay. So I went out and told him, I said, all right, you don't even have to unpack your bag. You can just go on back over there.
Mhm.
He went back the next day. And they got shot down.
Mm.
And he got killed.
Mhm.
And I had to write a letter home to his family, explaining what happened, you know, the best I could. But that thing kind of hurt me because he didn't have to go.
No, he
He
elected to. Yeah.
Yeah,
volunteered.
he wanted to go.
Do you regret sending him back?
I did because he had done what he was supposed to do.
Mhm.
He had went over there and did his part, you know, and he deserved a break.
Right. But now he could have been just as miserable if you sent him home. and
Well,
something could have
yeah,
happened, you know.
yeah. He wanted. It was his
His decision.
Call.
It was
Yeah.
his decision to make. He was a young fella. He was only about 19.
Yeah, I think I asked you this question the other night, but you had a lot of young soldiers during that time.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
trying to take these almost teenagers and prepare them for battle.
Absolutely.
How would you do that? What was your technique in trying to prepare
That was
them?
the hardest thing in the world to do. It really was. I had a colonel one day. He said, "First Sergeant, I want you to indoctrinate your troops and let them know why they're here."
Mm-hmm.
I said, these kids don't know why they're here. You got to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Well, sir, frankly, I don't know why I'm here."
Right.
You know,
Right.
he looked at me like I was crazy.
Right.
But that's why a lot of them went on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I used to walk in my company area over there, and I could pick up a cap full of capsules,
Mhm.
empty,
Right.
heroin,
Mm-hmm. They're just trying to find whatever they can find.
whatever they could find. They'd sent a lot of them back. They was all messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They couldn't take that pressure. Youngsters. See, we had guys at 17 getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
And moms back here, they were raising sand about that. Now, you're killing my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Got to stop it.
Right.
So the Army decided, hey, well, they raising sand back in the States, we better stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So they made it 18.
Right.
And the 18-year-olds were dying. You ain't done very much.
Mm-hmm.
They just
No.
went up 1 year is all they did.
Right. Right.
But they figured the 18, well, he's grown.
We can consider them grown now.
You consider
Right.
them grown, but at 17, he's just a kid,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's take a break, Daddy.
Okay.
We did good. We did real good.
Mm-hmm.